So as we look at this, we see that that popping does appear to correspond with a single unit. Because of that, that makes this channel one of interest for us as we're moving forward. We see on here that that channel is located in this location on the probe, but perhaps we want to keep an eye on that channel moving forward in this experiment. We have that option. If we then click on this channel, you'll note that the location of the channel that I clicked on turned blue. The spike trace corresponding to that channel, which was channel 10, turned blue and moved to the top of the trace list. And also the spike on the spike scope also turned blue. So what this does is we can keep track of the activity on that particular channel very easily, even if we move to another channel. So now I've highlighted another trace. I want to see what's going on channel 5, but even so, channel 10 is still highlighted and at the top of the screen. Channel 5 happens to be on the same shank as channel 10, and we can see on the spike scope and here on our speaker that there does appear to be a spike on that channel as well. So if that also is a channel of interest, we can click on this one. We see that it's a different color scheme. Everything is orange. And so now we've got two traces at the top of our screen, channel 10 and channel 5, that we want to look at further. We can come down and look around for another channel of interest. And perhaps we notice on channel 14, hey, there's another spike there, and it's on that same shank. What a coincidence. Let's highlight this one as well, and you see you get another unique color. It's also at the top of the screen. We've got our three sites located on this shank that each have what appear to be good neural activity there. Maybe as I'm doing this experiment, I would say, you know what? This shank seems to be in a pretty good location. Maybe I would like to click on the other individual channels on this particular shank and see if there's activity on them as well. This is a good practical usage for this probe-centric approach because it lets us isolate particular locations of interest, physical locations of interest within our recording data set. However, there is more than one way to use this probe-centric approach. In a recent experiment that I participated in, instead of choosing individual channels of interest, let's come up here and clear our series. In this particular experiment, it was decided that we really wanted to know before we even started looking at the data exactly how the sites corresponded to each other. So in our panel 2 spike traces, instead of being ordered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, we wanted to order them such that that each shank was numbered from top of the shank to the bottom of the shank in order. So we started with the leftmost shank, and instead of clicking on a site, you click and hold. Then you can drag down, and until you let go, every site that you choose will be represented in the same color scheme. So when you finally let go, you have all 8 sites from the leftmost shank highlighted in blue and represented from top to bottom on your display menu. If you do that for all of the different shanks, then when you sit down and actually start recording, you have a convenient spatialized view of your spike traces or your potential spike traces, such that any unit or activity that you do see would be spatially represented in a way that makes sense on your display. So, again, this is another practical way that you can use this spatial mapping feature to your advantage, particularly if these sites and/or shanks are close enough together that a single unit might show up on multiple sites simultaneously.